Ciao, what's up everybody? Alright, you know where we're at. We're gonna get off this street. I just was doing a bunch of stuff in this area. We're gonna talk about some weird things that China is doing with allowing their people to a weird thing China is doing with letting their people come to Vietnam. It's pretty odd. So, you know, before we get into the video, if you liked the video and it was helpful, I appreciate it if you subscribed. If not, no worries. You know the Patreon deal, lots of content's going on there. If you want to sign up, go for it. So let's jump into the video. So right now China's doing the same thing a lot of other countries did when they first opened. Hello. Hey. Text you.
I want on your video.
Okay, you're on the video.
Hi everybody, my name is Kim. You can call me Kim No Fake. Shout out.
Shout out.
I love you.
Come on. It's funny. Vietnamese always fun. So China's doing like many other countries when they first opened. They're making you take a tour group to enter into Southeast Asia. And they did not put Vietnam on the list. And it's kind of making its way through all the... try to get away from these speakers. We're going to do a bit different of a walk here. We're going to walk by the wharf. So it's making its way through the news pretty big style that they didn't add Vietnam to the list. And, you know, the Ministry of Tourism is pretty much saying, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. And it's made its way into so many different news places that they probably do think it's quite an issue, because I think they were kind of a bit relying on Chinese tourists to recover Chinese tourism. Let me pull up the article so I can read directly through it. I was just talking to a subscriber for like an hour. Shout out if you're watching this video. It's always nice to meet you guys when I'm out and about, and I'll definitely chat it up, even if I'm in the middle of doing something or going to do something. As long as the conversation carries. Sometimes if I'm really on a deadline, I have to do something, it'll be kind of a short convo, but for the most part, I'll talk to you for however long you want to talk. Vietnam should not be pressured by China's refusal to send tourists, experts say. Experts have dismissed China's non-inclusion of Vietnam in the list of destinations to which it allows outbound tour groups as no cause for pressure on the later's tourism industry. On February 6, China allowed travel agencies to sell tours to 20 countries and territories under a pilot program, including 7 in Southeast Asia, but Vietnam is not on the list. We can observe the tourism policies of other Southeast countries like Thailand and Indonesia to see... Let's get away from this speaker. Even though the speaker's 4,000 feet away, I guarantee you it picks it up and copyrights me. Because that's how lame YouTube is. That's why I'm moving stuff to Patreon. Like, I don't have to deal with all this stuff, and I can say whatever I want on there too. Like, I don't have to monitor everything I do. Like, it's getting wild. Like, I don't know the direction, just to get off onto a tangent, I don't know the direction that YouTube's going to eventually go, but it seems to be there's no clear thing of what's happening behind the scenes. Like, who's reviewing this stuff? Is it one person? Is there a board? How can you have one person do it? Because it's not all robots. At some point it gets to a person, but like, what if that person's, you know, agenda is one way? So I don't see, there just needs to be more transparency on how this stuff is in the back end. Get off that tangent. Let's get back to where we were. So they're pretty much saying, let's see how Thailand and Indonesia handle these Chinese tourists. Vietnam has more attraction for Chinese visitors than other Southeast countries, but China has not allowed yet tourism to Vietnam due to visa issues, he explained. Chinese visitors cannot enter Vietnam on their own will, while those on packages tours are allowed to apply for the visa on entry at airport. So that is so weird that they're letting them do a VOA at the airport, but they can't get a e-visa. So that's the problem. I don't know why. Chinese visitors cannot enter on their own, while those on package tours are not allowed to apply their... Oh, okay. Hold on, let me reread that. Chinese visitors cannot enter Vietnam on their own, while those on package tours are not allowed to apply their visa on entry at airports. So they can't use the visa on entry on airports, and they cannot, that's not written very well. It's just the translation. In 2019, the year before the onset of the pandemic, Vietnam received 5.5 million Chinese visitors, or 30% of all foreign arrivals. And it was even higher than that the year before. I think 2018 it was 50% or somewhere around there. And then I think the year before that it was like 60 to 65%. So it's a large demographic of the people. Now, what is this going to mean for other things? This is kind of the part I wanted to talk about. Does this mean that we might get a... Where's the other sidewalk over there? I know there's one more break in the thing here. There, we'll just walk down here. What does that mean for other visas and other tourists? Is that going to mean that there's going to be a slight amount of pressure for them to now bring upon some kind of better visa system for other countries? You know, we've been talking about this a lot lately because this is what people are really curious about that watch my channel. You know, I'm pretty on the pulse with the visa stuff, and like pretty good with evaluating what is going to get offered and not offered. And some people are still a little upset that like no change came after Tet, but you're not going to get, like I said in that other video, you're not going to get an immediate change. You know, when they're closed for 11 days, the offset's wild. So like it delays everything. And you've got to have stuff like this that just happened with China for them to kick it into high gear and change. I think you're going to see visa on arrival, visa free travel, and some kind of 60 or 90 day visa. I think it's going to be a result pretty quickly. I don't know what the timeline is going to look like, and I know a lot of people are playing a waiting game and should I go to Thailand now? And you know, there's some people that just come to live in Southeast Asia just because it's cheap, so they don't really care like which country. You know, they'll take whoever will give them a visa. So that's the scenario that you're having. This guy gotta stop again. Big hurry. Okay, cross this one. Big Maserati, honking his little Maserati horn. Grab driver driving the fastest. So we're at the wharf. Wharf's pretty busy today. It's a really slow night for Hoi Vinh or Winway and the wharf. I don't know where everybody's at tonight. It's slow. It's slow out here. So I can't give you a real actual timeline of like what's going to really actually happen with the visa situation, guys. All I can do is speculate. Like there might not be a change for a while. Like we don't know. We're not going to know until they tell us. Like we can use indicators. That's what I think a lot of us do is, you know, we see what's getting written in the news and we see if the actual like Minister of Tourism is talking about it or if the Prime Minister is talking about it. You know, the Prime Minister just stepped down for a female Prime Minister, so now we're dealing with a new prez essentially. So like, I don't know how she has things, and she's only temporary. So like, this could be a reason for. Oh, we got some TikToking. She's making that top. Watching it back to see if it's good. She clapped. She liked it. She enjoyed her talking. Get talked. So. It's all just speculation. I don't think until we see maybe the next PM, there's so many different things going on logistically of to why it could change and not change. And, you know, I thought it was kind of interesting that China didn't put Vietnam on its list, which is really odd seeing as they're that big of a tourism segment market. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of conflict behind the scenes with Vietnam. I mean, they're not like allies or anything, but they do a lot of trading of fruit and other stuff. So it's kind of surprising for me to see that. But that was a popular article in the news, so I figured we would talk about it real quick. Not going to delve into it too far. Not going to talk about the visa situation here anymore. We've already put that information out. There's no new information to really be had. So yeah. that's the video, guys. As ever, I'll keep you updated if something changes. You'll know. If you want to see additional content, there is going to be a lot of content on the Patreon. And then if you want to support the channel through PayPal, through single-time tips, these things are all super, super helpful. Especially when the channel's in a downtrend for ad revenue, which it is right now. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay frosty. See you on the next one. Peace out.